Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak this morning. We've been doing this for 6 years, and I haven't met that many people in the room. There's a few faces out there I know, and the irony is we're actually working overseas at the moment, setting up a policy and procedures manual. So it's really good to be here and have a chat to you. We've been asked to speak about the random aspect. That's my favourite. So thank you for that as well, because I wasn't sure this morning what I was coming to. How effective is your policy without a random aspect? If you're only pre-employment testing and waiting for the first accident or incident and testing again. So random testing is a deterrent. Yeah, it's the gate that you've never had before. And we don't random test everyone because we need our workforce on the day. So when we write someone's, we recommend that they will do small and regular. Yeah, because then everyone's got that potential that it might be me this morning. So it's a change behaviour we're looking at. Anyway, I'll run the PowerPoint, and I'd like to thank Leah Norman, who's in the room. She's our business manager. I have poached her from the recruitment agency sector of construction, so if anyone would like to chat to her later, that's her specialty as my business manager, because she knows all the tech, and I've got this upside down even.
Alcohol drug technology has fast become a leader in providing knowledge, expertise and compliant products related to workplace alcohol and drug testing. Alcohol drug technology is committed to providing the most affordable drug and alcohol testing solutions for workplaces. We believe we can provide companies the complete service to create a healthier, safer workplace. What we do? We specialise in alcohol and drug testing products and services. We are committed to creating healthier, safer workplaces. We are consistently delivering top quality service with products of the highest standard. Why work with alcohol drug technology? We deliver you unique solutions to suit your workplace needs, whatever the industry and whatever the size. Our vision is to be New Zealand's trusted supplier of alcohol and drug testing products. Call now on 0800 238800 or visit www.adt.net.nz. Creating healthier, safer workplaces.
So the reason that was my vision to start with is because my background is nursing. And Karen speaking, we have a close connection and work closely together. So my passion does come from the safety aspect and the health aspect. And it was to have the trusted supplier part is because it needs to be certified products. There needs to be a lot of integrity behind the testing process. But we've developed into more of the total solutions company, and that's because you need to start with a strong policy. And as Karen said, it needs to be clear and concise. It's the one page and it's the statement of intent. Then you move on to how you're going to do the testing, and that's your bigger thing. And we call it the DAMP. It's a Drug and Alcohol Management Plan. It's an unusual acronym, but I have to use it for aviation because it's regulated. So DAMP. I'm a DAMP consultant. Great. I've even got it on a badge. And the irony is it is full for me because Air New Zealand was our original case law, so you have to bring in employment law into your policies when you're writing them, and they were the ones that went to court against the unions as an employer when they said we're going to test our employees. So this is our case law, and that was how can we test them, why do we test them? So what came out of that court case after a very long and expensive process, I imagine, was that yes, they can as an employer because they have a duty of care to provide a safe workplace, but you could only test people if they were in a safety sensitive role. Okay, so lucky if you're an accountant because working for Air New Zealand because you won't be tested unless you go airside or you are in a safety sensitive aviation activity, which means you go into an environment where you would be deemed a hazard if you were under the influence. So we play with the law a wee bit, but realistically, who can we test? And in the random testing pool, I always advise to be cautious, not to put your complete company in there and make sure they have a safety sensitive aspect because that's our objective. We are testing our workers and employees to make sure they are fit for work, safe. So that supports it. When people say you can't test me, blah, blah. It ends up being, well, yeah, we can because of your position and role, and by definition, you are safety sensitive. So that's what the court case came out with. And again, that says, so they called it suspicionless testing, meaning no reasonable cause. Okay, so random means there's no reasonable cause. There needs to be a transparency also with that. So who, as we said, your safety sensitive areas. Define safety sensitive area. That's your lawyer's part. And we have some good employment lawyers, and they will look at the situation, and if someone even has to go into an area once a week with a clipboard, and he or she has to put on a high-vis vest and walk through, yeah? Because potentially on any day they could be walking through someone's yard and have to adhere to all your safety aspects. They might predominantly, sort of 90% of the time, be sitting behind a desk answering the phone and doing all your accounts, but that one day they could be the hazard. So yeah, they would fall into it. But you have to look at that each time. Yeah, so the random selection process. This is interesting. We've had some people say, can you come and do some random testing or organise our random testing, and can you make sure Bill, Bob and Ben are on the list? That ain't random. Yeah? If you're worried about Bill, Bob and Ben, these are real people, by the way. No, if you're worried about them, reasonable cause test them. Yeah? Have the conversation. You actually have to, you obviously know there is an issue. You already highlighted it by telling me. Yeah? So we look at how do we do that random selection. We recommend use a third party, no bias, transparency of the process, no one feels that they're being picked on. And there's lots of options for that we can discuss. So the benefits of random testing, obviously for employers, as we say, you're reducing accidents by being able to detect. So you're identifying a hazard and acting on it and then removing it if necessary. If you're random testing, I think it shows that you are committed to your alcohol and drug policy. The amount of places I walk into and they've got a drug and alcohol policy on the wall and I say, oh, how long's that been? And they go, 6 years. And how effective is it? And they go, don't know, we've never done anything. If you've got a policy, you actually should be using it. And it's a deterrent. It's basically saying this is our expectation, you're coming to work. And I think that's the biggest thing we know with random testing. People are constantly thinking, oh, it could be me. I walk into a workplace, I don't do any testing. I work as the MRO for a company, so that's the medical review officer. And yet, and everyone goes, their eyes go like that. I go, look, guys, I don't do the testing. How many times do I have to tell you about it? They think I'm joking. Employees, of course, you feel safe working in a place where if Karen said there was 25% of a workplace, the other 75% are constantly going, oh, here he comes again. Yep. So everyone's happier. The other 75% are coming to work, not having to put up with Bill, Bob and Ben. So it's awareness too of their responsibilities, because this is a bit of, especially in New Zealand culture, it's a bit of, it's time to take responsibility for yourself. And this is your role. And when someone says to me, oh, it's not fair, I'm being tested, what about, Sharon on reception? She's always out partying. And I said, well, Sharon doesn't work, like in the yard or somewhere. And if you want not to be tested, go and be Sharon. Have Sharon's job, It's take responsibility. Because that's our goal at the end. It's a drug-free workplace. Thank you for your time.